Here's a question for you this Monday. Have you noticed that narcissists are everywhere? Everything is trauma, and every fight ends in gaslighting. Therapy speak has infiltrated everyday conversations, so Dr. Sheryl Ziegler is here to talk to us about it.
Honestly, some of these things, I didn't even know what they were a few years ago. I would have had to look them up.
Right.
So what's the deal? Why are they everywhere now?
Well, here's another social media thing,
It's
right?
a social media.
It is a social media thing, and in some ways it's a very positive thing because social media has really destigmatized mental health.
Yeah.
And so now people are using the terms and everybody knows what it means and we're all speaking the same language. However, it is often taken out of context or not actually clinical level. And so that's where I just want everybody to slow down a little bit because I don't want to be labeling everything and everyone because that's not the way life really actually works.
I feel like that's also generational. I have two Gen Zers. It's like they like to label things. And I guess every generation does that. Just this generation, and by the way, you're right, speaking about mental health is huge, but it feels like the pendulum swung this way. Let's take a narcissist, for instance. Why is casually calling someone who seems to be full of themselves a narcissist not a great idea?
Right. Well, because narcissism is actually a very rare personality disorder. It's an actual condition. And so because somebody said something that you think, oh, they were selfish, that's what we have equated narcissism equaling selfish,
right.
But it is so much more than that. So what happens is I might not work it out with you because you might do something that I think is self-centered. And instead of me kind of working it out with you in the uncomfortable conversation, I just go, oh, well, she's a narcissist, so I don't want anything to do with her.
Well, that's not good.
Right? And then I can label you, I can say that's terrible, and I can just walk away. And so it gets in the way of me being like, let me tell you, something you said might have hurt my feelings. That's how it should really go, right? You said this one thing and I wound up feeling this way. And then we talk about it. And then we move on with life and see how it goes. The label puts this big block up where I'm not going to do that.
So I'm thinking that label trauma is even more dangerous because I think of like true trauma that some people go through or PTSD. I don't think you just want to throw out there. I mean, some things are like, I don't know, they linger with us for a lifetime. They might have shaped our decision making, but do they all fall under trauma?
No, that is not the context. I think that most people are using trauma. They're using trauma for anything like, I put on a lipstick color and it was like such a bright pink. Oh my God, I'm totally traumatized over this makeup.
Yes.
Right? Or they spilled something on themselves. Oh my gosh, I'm traumatized.
You did that really good, by the way. That was really good.
I know. See it a lot. And it's just, and it's like, I get it. Sometimes we want to lighten a situation up, right? We want to joke around. Like you might say, oh, I like something on you. I might say, oh, I was traumatized from the last time I wore the wrong thing. That's light. I understand that. But I think because we do it so incredibly much, and I hear high schoolers using this term all the time, I think there is a sensitivity that we have to understand that true trauma is a very clinical, very serious condition. And PTSD, that's another term actually. People use, oh, I have PTSD from that. I have PTSD from the bad restaurant that I went to, right? Let's say you got a stomach ache or you really genuinely felt very sick afterwards. It's still not PTSD.
No. That's insulting to the people.
Well, that's
the thing. I think when you minimize a term like that, it minimizes it for the folks who've suffered through PTSD or who've had real true trauma that needed to be worked through, not just an unpleasant experience that you're calling trauma. Just quickly before we go, how about gaslighting? We hear a lot about gaslighting.
Yeah. So gaslighting is used, the true definition of gaslighting is when it's a very psychological manipulation of making you feel like you've gone crazy, like your memories aren't right. And so definitely sometimes people will do a little tinge of that and someone will be like, oh my gosh, you're gaslighting me. But that might not be their consistent pattern. It might have been a little one-off. So we need to slow down a little bit with the gaslighting too.
Well, let's have a slow
Do we need to?
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this is good that we're talking about mental health.
Yes.
Do we need to stop using these terms?
I think we need to be more thoughtful around them.
Okay.
I think we need to understand what we're actually saying. And let's keep expanding the conversation around mental health. There's a lot more than just like a couple of personality things. And let's just keep expanding it, but use it more in depth as opposed to a quick label. Slapping labels on things, usually actually not that helpful.
Okay.
I wish we had time to ask you about sociopathy because sociopaths are.
Let's just do a whole nother segment.
Let's do it. Let's do it at some point. All right.
Or all
Dr.
the other
Ziegler.
terms like the daddy issues. Haven't you heard some of these?
Would you
They
say
all
daddy
talk-
issues?
Daddy issues, abandonment issues.
Abandonment, young people, then they talk about sports traumas. They talk about, there's a lot of them. Anyway,
Follow.
we don't have time.
Part 2 is coming.
Thank you, Dr. Ziegler.